Hello everyone. So today we'll start our first topic, that is full wave converter, and for that full wave converter, that is your midpoint converter. Midpoint converter. Midpoint. So it is your full wave converter, single phase full wave midpoint converter. So here actually it is a resistive load. So as you can see, this is your construction. It has a transformer, and this transformer will be will actually provide an isolation with your source. Okay, it has two SCRs, and there is a load. Okay, it is the load is connected like this. Now, specifically, if I am telling that, I will be noting it down like this, that this is the polarity. The output voltage is V naught. And for V naught, this side is positive and this will be negative. Okay. Similarly, diode or SCR voltage will be noted down like this. So assumption is that first we will define the polarity. Polarity as per the polarity assumption. First, voltages is assumed as per the polarity given. So we'll assume the voltages as per the polarity given. Secondly, the direction of the current is assumed as per the direction given. Direction given means, if it will be if the current is incoming, it will produce a positive drop. If the current is outgoing, it will produce a negative drop. Secondly, all the third assumption is that all the devices that are used are ideal. Okay, and it is working under ideal states. That's it. Okay, so let's these are my assumption. So let's start our how the working starts. So as per the polarity, initially the this is my Vs, and Vs will be my Vm sin omega t. Okay, and the transformer ratio I am considering at as 1:1. Okay, so 1:1 is my transformer ratio. So when the coil is energized, initially when the coil is energized, the polarity will be like this, positive, and this will be negative. Okay, and this is positive, this is negative. Subsequently you will have this positive and this negative, right? Subsequently the midpoint will have negative and this side will be positive. So the midpoint has both the charges, that is positive as well as negative. Okay, so as the ratio is Vm sin omega t, so the voltage will be induced here, that is Vs. Okay, here also it will be induced Vs. Okay, Vs will be induced in both the sides. Okay, so as your SCR or transistor T1 is forward biased, as you can see, this is my polarity, this is positive here and it will be positive. So this will be forward bias in the first condition, so it will conduct. But here if you consider the SCR, the T2 SCR is negative, that is your reverse bias, so it will not it will not conduct. So what is my voltage? If assuming that the voltage, that is your V naught, during this condition when T1 conducts, V naught will be Vm sin omega t. Okay. Secondly, similarly, what will be your Vd? Vd will be 0. Okay. Similarly, when the polarity of the supply reverses, that is your, this is positive, this is here, it was positive here, and here it was positive here, and it was positive here. Now the supply reverses, what happens? The supply will be positive here, and here it will be negative. So what happens here? It will be, this polarity will be negative, this will be positive. At the midpoint, what you can have, this will be positive, this will be negative, right? Because of this, T1 will be reverse bias. Now it will not conduct, and the T2 will conduct for the negative half cycle. So for T2 it will be, when T2 conducts, V naught will be Vm sin omega t. Okay, Vd is 0. Vd, that is your voltage across. Okay, sorry, here I will take two types. So Vd1, that is your voltage across T1. Okay, and Vd2. So let us first discuss what is Vd1 in this portion. Vt1, when T2 conducts, what happens to the Vd? So Vd is actually, so this is the Vd part, sorry. So Vd is this part, positive, this is positive, this is negative. Vd is this voltage. So how much is Vd? Vd is, if you see here, this point and this point is shorted, this point and it shorts with this point, and then it directly, so actually Vd is twice of Vs, right? So this is the disadvantage, that your transistor faces twice the voltage of the supply. Okay, so this is the biggest disadvantage of your this midpoint converter, is that your transistor peak inverse voltage, when the voltage is here also, if you see Vd2 during this portion, Vd2, if you assume this is positive, this is negative, so this point is shorted here and it will be shorted here, so it will also have twice of Vs. So that is your uh, thyristor peak inverse voltage rating should be twice of the supply voltage that you are actually finding. Okay, regarding your regarding your uh, output voltage, if you see the output voltage, the output polarity is does not change, because the current direction is always incoming in both the sides. Okay, so because of that, the output polarity will be V naught only, so it will have the same polarity. Okay, so this is my um, working condition of a midpoint converter. Let us draw the waveform. So as this is my supply voltage Vs, and it has, this is the cycle omega t. Okay, suppose the conduction starts here. Okay, conduction starts from here, that is your T1 conduction during first portion, when T1 is forward bias. So conduction starts from here. So what you will get, so your waveform will be like this, first waveform. Secondly, when your T2 conducts here, T2, during this portion, during the, when the polarity reverses, this is your, when your supply is, if you see here the diagram, if you if this is your A and this is your B, when A is at your positive terminal and B is negative terminal, so Vs is this. Okay, and when the reverse happened, when AB is positive terminal and your A is negative terminal, so the T2 conducts, right? So here we will be getting VAB, here you will be getting VBA. Okay, so this is the portion. So when you draw the negative side also, it will have the same V naught. We are drawing V naught here, V naught, and here the axis is P. So you will be getting the waveform will be like this, right? Now the next portion again, which it conducts is your, it goes on like this only. So here you will conduct, T1 will conduct during this portion, T2 will conduct during this portion. So this is my alpha, this is my pi, this is my pi plus alpha, this is my 2 pi and 2 pi plus alpha. So it goes on like this. Okay, what about the load current I naught? As you know, I naught is voltage stiff load, so the waveform, because it is a resistive load, right? So waveform will not change. I have already discussed it in your rectify, in your this single half controlled rectifier, that the diagrams, how it will be affecting your loads, how the effect will be there. So this is the waveform, the shape of the waveform will not change. So I can let us first find out what is V naught. The average value will be, time period of the waveform will be, it starts from alpha and it again the same shape of the waveform goes at pi plus alpha. So you can have the time period is pi. So 1 upon time period, that is 1 upon pi integration. What happened? It goes from alpha to pi Vm sin omega t, Vm sin omega t d omega t. Okay, so you just do it. So you will be getting Vm by pi sin omega t will be minus cos omega t, and put the value cos, so it will be getting 1 plus cos alpha. So this is the value, that is your average RMS average value. For the RMS value, just calculate V naught square RMS 1 upon pi integration alpha to pi Vm square sin square omega t d omega t. You calculate this value and you find out what is the answer. Now here overall, if you see, what is happening is that in your half controlled rectifier you are getting one term here 2 half, or half controlled rectifier. If you would go and check the V naught value, that is what, that was what Vm by 2 pi. Okay, 1 plus cos alpha only. So this is the change you are getting, that the voltage is have been doubled in your full bridge converter. So that is one of the advantage of your full bridge converter. Okay, now talking about the one more waveform, that is VD. Let us talk about VD. So let us see what happens with VD. Okay, during this period, that is, I am plotting. So I'm leaving it up to you, that is VRMS. Just comment in your this Google Classroom. VD1. VD1. From 0 to alpha, 0 to alpha, as the transistor is not on, so it will have, the voltage will be Vs only. Okay, shape will be Vs. From here it has a shape of but this value is 2 Vs. Remember that always, whatever the value will be here, that is Vs, that is twice of Vs. This will be twice of Vs. Okay. Similarly, during this period, pi to 2 pi, the T2 does not conduct. When T2 does not conduct, it will have a voltage. The voltage will be twice. Okay, so this is my peak value and this peak value is twice of Vm. So whatever Vm you are having here, the twice value will be here. Okay, so this is one of the issue with your full wave converter when you are full wave rectifier. Okay, when you are doing the full wave rectifier, you have to face this thing. Okay, so the disadvantage which has been created by this waveform is been nullified by, okay, one more thing is that what is you can say what is the circuit turn off time, the time during which your SCR is completely off or completely reverse bias and no current is flowing. So this is actually that time. Okay, so this is the circuit turn off time. Okay, during this period the SCR is reverse bias and it is not conducting. Okay, so what is that time is that omega TC is equal to pi. So TC will be pi by omega. So this is for R load. Remember we are drawing this waveform for R load. Now, if I am changing the load to RL, you will have some different waveform. There will be some conduction negative part also. I have already reminded you like that. Okay. So, go for it. Just check what will happen with the RL load. Now, next is the disadvantage of this circuit. Let us note down the disadvantage of this circuit. So first disadvantage is the peak inverse voltage of SCR is 2 Vm, twice of the supply voltage. So this is one of the biggest disadvantage, okay, of this circuit. And another disadvantage is, second disadvantage is, the circuit has a transformer which increases the cost, as well as the circuit is bulky. Okay, because transformer and inductor are bulky in nature. Okay, so this is the two demerits of this circuit. So to remove this, we will have another circuit, that is this circuit. Okay, this circuit has the same load, but here we have 4 SCR. Okay, the single phase, this is not a midpoint converter. Okay, so let us discuss the operation first. Here, first we will be assuming that this is my polarity of my output voltage, that is your V naught. The direction will be this I naught. So I am not going to change the polarity. Okay, so this is my polarity. This is T1, this is T2, this is T3, and this is T4. This is my supply, that is your Vs. Okay, we'll check first how the operation is there. Now initially, first my Vs will be, suppose this point is A and this point is B. Okay, so initially my polarity 1, this is positive, this is negative. During this polarity, when VAB is equal to Vs, that is Vm sin omega t. Okay, so when this is there, what happens? The positive polarity comes here and negative polarity will be here. Because of this, T1 is forward bias. You can check here. Anode has positive and T4 cathode has positive. So T4 will be reverse bias. Okay, I'm again telling. T1 is forward bias because T1 anode is receiving positive voltage while T4 cathode is receiving positive voltage, so that is reverse bias. Similarly, if you see here, T2 cathode is having negative polarity, so that is forward bias, and T3 anode is having negative polarity, so it is reverse bias. So you can conduct either T1 or T2, but you can't conduct T3 and T4. So when Vs is this, so if the firing is given, the current will flow, and here the current will be flowing from positive, so it will come here, current will flow like this, and it will go like this, it will go like this. Okay, and then it will come from like this. So what happens to the V naught? Let us check the V naught voltage. So V naught is actually, if you see the KVL analysis, this point is positive, so this goes here, this is positive. So and this point is negative and this goes here negative. So V naught is actually Vs, right? When T1 and T2 conducts, and it will conduct when during from alpha to pi. Okay, so during this period alpha to pi, Vs will be VAB will be, A will be having a positive polarity and B will be having a negative polarity. Okay, let us check what happens to the current. If you see the current waveform, I naught will be your supply current, that is your Is. I naught will be your supply. So this is the important thing. So this is your I naught and supply current is Is. Okay, so supply current is like this, it is flowing like this. So I am assuming like this. Now let us check what happens to the reverse polarity. During the reverse polarity, this is negative, this is positive, and due to this, A will have negative polarity, B will have positive polarity. Because of this, A T4 will conduct, T1 will be off, right? Because of forward bias nature. T1 will be T2 will conduct, T2 will be off, and T3 will be conducting because of forward bias. So if you are giving the triggering circuit to T4 and T3, it will start conducting. So what will happen to this? Let us check the current waveform also. So during this period, your T2 is conducting and T3 is conducting and T4 is conducting, right? And your, what happens to the polarity? This is negative and this will be positive. So VBA, now I am reversing the polarity. VBA is Vs, that is Vm sin omega t, right? And what about V naught? V naught will be Vs when T3 and T4 is conducting, and T3 and T4 is conducting from pi plus alpha to 2 pi. Okay, so it is conducting from TS. Let us see V naught. Now V naught is connected to this. If you check the polarity, it is connected to this, and V minus is connected to this, right? So the polarity is reversed, but V naught always remains Vm sine omega t. Check it. You will see V naught always remains. Now what happens to the current direction? Initially current was flowing like this, but now the current is flowing. So your supply current is reversed. But if you check the direction of your load current, still coming down. So your supply current is has changed the direction because of the polarity of the supply, but your load current is still in the same direction. So load current has done change. So I can say I naught is minus Is. Okay, minus Is. We'll draw this waveform also. Okay, we'll check the uh, uh, supply current. So next, let us see. So for your uh, the difference between your circuit or your the difference between the waveform, if you see, one more thing is what happens with the peak inverse voltage. So in during this period, if you see here, I will assume that this is my now VT1. So this is my positive and this is my negative. So VT1 is this. Let us check the polarity, or how much polarity or how much voltage is experienced by our uh, thyristor 1 during when it is off. So during this period, during T3 and T4 conduction, T1 is off. So how much it is experiencing? So this is positive, but this is negative, right? So this point is connected with this, right? And this point is connected with this. So it is actually experiencing minus Vs, right? If you see, if you draw the diagram, Vt1, I can write Vt1 is minus Vs. So in the previous problem, if you see the previous problem, it was experiencing 2 Vs. Now it is experiencing just Vs. So each thyristor peak inverse voltage rating is degraded. Okay, means it is lowered. So that is one of the importance of this circuit, that the peak inverse voltage is lower. Now here we are not also using a um, this transformer. Here we are not using a transformer. That's one of the biggest advantage, that your circuit is not bulky. Okay, so that's why. Now drawing the waveform of your Vs will be same. V naught, V naught, here it will be conducting T2, and T1 and T2 is conducting here, and here it will be conducting T3 and T4. Okay, so T3 and T4 conducts here. Shape of the waveform, shape of your current waveform, shape of your current waveform will be, now as the as you know, this is the same circuit, so it will have a say shape will be like this only. This is my load current I naught. So I naught, the but the voltage will be Vm by R. peak value Vm by R. Okay, shape will be the shape will be same. Okay, it will not change, but the peak value is Vm by R. Okay, next one thing is that let us draw the source current. What will happen to the source current? So in the initial part, I have already told you that when T1 and T2 conducts, I naught will be Is. Okay, but when T3 and T4 conducts, I naught will be minus Is. So here, if you can see the shape during when T1 and T2 conducting, it is having this shape, but T3 and T4 is conducting, it will have a negative shape. Okay, so this is minus Is. So this is my Is. So previous, I am drawing it on the same waveform. I naught was previously, now I am drawing on the same waveform. This is my Is. Okay, not I am not changing the graph. One more thing is that let us draw the peak inverse voltage. So peak inverse voltage, let us draw the peak inverse voltage. So for the peak inverse voltage, VT1, during this cycle it is not conducting, so it will have this VT1 will be of Vs when it is not conducting. T1 is conducting from here, so it will have 0 here. Next, in this cycle, T3 and T4 are forward bias and it is conducting. Okay, so that's why the voltage that is experienced by VT1 will be like this. Okay, again it will like this. So the peak value will be Vm, peak inverse voltage will be Vm. What is the circuit turn off time? This is the circuit turn off time, omega Tc, that is equal to pi. So Tc is equal to pi by omega. Okay, so this is the whole full bridge rectifier. We will discuss our one of the problem. We'll give you one problem in the later class, and we'll discuss it in that. Okay.